Hey there YouTube, so I thought I'd go ahead and review a movie for you. I haven't done one in a while. So I thought I'd go ahead and review one you may or may have not heard of, and that is 500 Days of Summer. Now, forgive me if I pronounce the names wrong, but it stars Joseph Gordon-Levitt? I don't know. I know who he is, but I can't pronounce his last name. And Zoe Deschanel. Um, I love both of these actors. I've seen them in previous films, and I love Zoe especially because I do watch Bones, and this is actually Temperance Brennan, which is her character name. It's her sister, so she's she's got just as much personality. So it's called 500 Days of Summer, and it is rated PG-13 for sexual material and language. Now this movie is um, not your typical happy ending movie. I'm probably gonna just try and review it, but honestly, if I try and review it, and it's gonna be analyzing it as well. So I'm gonna put up analyzing and reviewing 500 Days of Summer. Now, a typical movie would, a typical chick flick would be girl meets guy, guy falls in love with girl, girl and guy get married, a happy ending movie. However, this one I thought was good. I loved it because it wasn't just a typical movie. It was more of an artsy movie. Um, it was just really good. You know, like I said, your typical chick flick works that way. This one actually worked where they met at work. He instantly knew she was the one. He grew up with the idea that once he saw the right person, met the right person, that he would be with them for forever. And she grew up with the idea, because her parents divorced, that she would never fall in love, never be happy. She would just be independent her whole life. So they date for a while, and she eventually breaks up with him. Well, he's heartbroken. He, with the ideas he had in his head, he thought that this was the girl for him. So you go through the movie and you see him depressed and her just moving on with her life, and eventually she gets married. Now, normal people who like just normal chick flicks would not like this movie because, as I said, it doesn't follow the typical, happy ending, although it was kind of happy in some ways. Um, and I think one day there was a place they liked to sit because he wanted to do architecture. And she was sitting there and she said, "Oh, hey, how are you? I didn't realize you were here." She said, "I've loved being here ever since you brought me." And he said he invited her to sit with him and he said, "So you're married now?" She goes, "Yeah, surprise," and stuff like that. And he goes, "I just can't believe it." He was like, I loved you. And he goes, I never really thought I would ever think that all those things that I'd always believed in were true. And she goes, "What do you mean?" And he said, "Oh, fall in love with the right person, you get married, you spend your whole life with them, and you're happy." Well, she says, he says, "What was different with him? Why did you marry him?" And she said, "Well, like you said, one day I woke up and I was sure it was him that I wanted, and that was something I never got with you." So that in and of itself was saying that she was happy. And so one day he goes in for an interview and he meets another girl. Now, they automatically hit it off and he's happy. So that's kind of how it ends, is he finds another girl that he thinks he might like. Now, whether or not they work it out is up to your brain and how you want to construe it into your own mind. But I honestly loved this movie. I feel like it's not a normal movie. It was a fun movie. So, it was just, sorry, Grey's Anatomy's distracted me again. You should have already heard that in my welcome message. Um, it was just a really good movie. It was different, and it was actually done by Fox Searchlight Pictures, which was honestly amazed me that I loved it because I usually hate their films just because they're different. Well, this one was definitely different, but it was good different. So, if you're more of a film critic kind of person, you want to critique movies, you don't really care about how it ends, just the journey getting there, which is how I am, you should definitely check out 500 Days of Summer. Amazing movie. Um, I'd probably rate it a 10 out of 10, so you should definitely check it out.